like a karaoke bar out by...
Oh, Rosie's Twin Kegs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I played a show there.
The audiences, or the people doing the karaoke were kind of crazy.
Really?
Yeah, there were people that were like really into it and just like belting, and no one was really reacting. Like it was kind of too much.
Really? No one was reacting? That's amazing.
There was a guy though that clearly on a date, and he like did a duet and sung some like early 2000s R&B song to her, and she was like so flustered, and then they like immediately left together.
Oh wow. Like he didn't know her? He like was trying to like...
I think they were on like a first date or something, but I think it worked.
Hey.
Like he sung to her, and then immediately they were like...
Alright, let's go.
Yeah, it was...
Baby making fun.
We were all like, hell yeah, it's good for them.
Go get it!
I didn't do karaoke, but I do need coffee, is how I feel about it. Yeah. You just offered me coffee, and I was like, this is exactly what I need.
Rosie's Twin... I haven't been there like... since 2019.
Good
That was
place.
the last time I played a show there. It was fun.
It's cool.
Cool. So do you have like a karaoke song you sing when you do, or do you not sing karaoke?
I love singing karaoke, honestly. I think my go-to is always like Weezer.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What Weezer song?
Sweater song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's just so easy. Like I'm not very good at singing. So, and also Bruce Springsteen, like Dancing in the Dark.
Oh yeah.
It's my favorite song. I just like love him. So he's like a really good karaoke.
Yeah, he's a great
option.
storyteller too.
Yeah. Totally.
Where did you get your Aphex Twin necklace?
Some Etsy shop. Some
Etsy
Russian
shop?
Etsy shop.
Nice. Yeah. I like it.
Cool. Thank you.
Cool. Hey everyone, welcome to Nashville Artist Podcast. I'm Jordan, and today Sarah Goldstein is here.
Hey.
Hey, welcome. So where are you from?
I was born in Texas and then raised in Nashville.
Oh, okay. So you've been here since you were like 2?
Yeah. My entire life.
Wow. Where did you go to high school?
I went to Nashville School of the Arts.
Oh, okay. So that's how you know Jacob.
Yeah. Exactly.
Cool. So do you have any, like, are you an only child? Do you have any siblings?
I recently got step-siblings, like a year ago, but I'm an only child otherwise.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're adult step-siblings though, but they're cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What were you into when you were a little kid?
Art was definitely my first hobby. I was super into it, and then I like tried a bunch of other stuff, like I was into soccer and dance and other stuff, but I just kept going back to art. And then eventually I was just taking like painting classes and sculpture and just like nonstop doing stuff like that.
Nice. What is there an artist or a specific artist that you like, or like when you were a little kid, you're like, man, that's really cool, I want to do that?
I was like really into Frida Kahlo. I don't know, she was just really powerful, and a lot of my art classes were teaching me about male artists, and she was kind of like the first woman that stuck out. And I also liked that her portraits were like really crazy. I think when I was younger I didn't understand that they were like very intense and about heavy subjects, and there was a lot of symbolism. But when I was a kid I was just like, this is amazing. I've never seen a woman have a portrait of herself with like someone growing out of her forehead.
Wow.
Like that kind of stuff.
Wow, yeah. Trippy.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. So did you like do a lot of art in high school?
Yeah, my focus at NSA was visual art, and I was taking sewing classes and some other stuff outside of school. So just kind of like trying to do all mediums, ideally. Yeah.
All mediums? What other mediums?
I was into photography and painting, and I was trying to do pottery a little bit, not the best at it. Trying to learn how to sew, just kind of covering all that stuff.
And you were able to cover all that in high school? Like,
a little bit.
When did you get into pottery?
I guess kind of like have always been into it. Like, you know, when you're a kid, they introduce you to all these different mediums. I feel like when I was younger, I was able to excel at all of them pretty well. So then when I was in high school, it was kind of like, how can I learn how to take these more seriously? My grandmother actually is really into art, so it really helped push that further. There was like a lot of stuff I could do with her in my free time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. How would you say, like, coming from Nashville has affected your visual art?
I think that living in Nashville, there's like a lot of exposure to creative stuff going on. Having access to like the Frist or art crawl, like stuff like that growing up was nice. And then when I switched over to NSA and I was like constantly surrounded by people that were into art, like the majority of my friends were musicians, but even just being around the creative energy of that, it at least taught me how to like embed creativity into my life. And that is something I really value. And I think when you're in Nashville, like a lot of people really value that.
When you say embed into your life, what do you mean? Like,
I mean, like personally, I like to think of myself as someone that's like creative across the board, whether it's like how I dress and like how I want to present my room and like how I want to decorate and how I want to like create stuff as well. Like even outside of like, you know, textbook art, I think interior design is something that's like a creative form, and fashion and really anything across the board. And then also like valuing creative work a lot more. Like I've always really been into music, but I think that when I started spending a lot of time with musicians and I understood that it's like there's so much that goes into making music, I started to value it a lot more.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to college? Did you go to college for art?
I went to University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
Oh, okay.
For design and photography.
Did you like Knoxville?
It was okay. I think it's a cool city. I just couldn't really get that immersed in it until lockdown. The program I was in pushed me back, so I had 5 years of school, and I was in my second to last year during March of 2020.
Oh, wow.
And I think at that point I started to like Knoxville a lot more. Just like the college at least is super party focused, and so when lockdown started and I was like spending a lot of time hiking and biking and doing outdoor stuff, I realized how much I really like East Tennessee. And now I love it. Yeah.
Do you ever go down to Chattanooga?
One of my best friends lives there.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to any of the Blue Holes?
Yeah, I've gone a few times in Saudi Daisy.
All over, yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome. That's like the thing Nashville lacks.
Exactly.
It's like really good outdoor swimming.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I'm from, Chattanooga.
Oh, cool. Where did you go to high school?
Macaulay.
Okay. One of my good friends went to Ottawa.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We played a lot of Nashville schools and sports. Used to come here for sports. So going back here, you do mostly graphic design right now, right? What kind of designer would you say, like, your style is?
Pretty much all the design work for the most part that I do is music focused. But I take a lot of inspiration from nature. Like in college, a lot of my projects were about mushrooms or plant systems, and like, I don't know, I feel really inspired by natural shapes and natural elements. And a lot of the time, if I feel stuck with design work, it's really easy for me to like look up archival footage of national parks and then like pull textures from that. I feel like that stuff's really inspiring.
Wow. Like, Nashville parks like as they've gone through time, like, or like what do you like apart from like 60 years ago here in Nashville, or like?
Well, like I guess national parks overall.
National parks.
Yeah.
I think I probably misheard you.
No, it's okay. I have a lisp. Yeah, national parks. There's like a lot of really good archival photography and videos of them, and it's
Geo.
Yeah, like if you go on archive.org, there's like tons of pages for national parks, and it's like all free use. And the cool part about it too is like a lot of the imagery is kind of outdated. Like there's stuff from the 70s that's scanned in, so everything has different textures. Like the images are beautiful, but it's also like insane, weirdly printed.
Oh, okay. When you say texture, you mean like the material, not
yeah.
Not like what they're capturing, like the leaf or something like that.
Well, definitely that too. Okay. Like there's a lot of high def pictures of bark, like stuff like that. But it's also cool that there's like an added element around, you know, what time period the image is coming from, because you can really tell.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm gonna have to check out archive.org. And you just browse?
Yeah. I had a project in college where I had to use it, and now I'm just like religiously on it.
Where do you like to, like, for inspiration now, do you just go in nature, or like you mentioned that?
I feel like a lot of inspiration kind of comes from everything. I don't know, I feel really inspired by fashion, really inspired by nature, really inspired by music. That's always been kind of the main focus of everything, which now is my full-time job, doing design with music.
Yeah, how did you start working at Third Man Records?
In college, I interned for Saddle Creek Records, the record label out of Omaha that they're kind of known for like Big Thief and Bright Eyes and those bands. I was working with them, and then I was also an intern at Aquarium Drunkard, the music publication. So that was kind of like abruptly immersed into the music industry, working with like the design side, and then I was also doing the journalism side. I was interviewing bands and writing articles, and I really liked it. I felt very inspired and motivated, and I am also just like a huge music fan, so like working with bands was just so sick. And then I was freelancing for some labels when I graduated, like Fat Possum and Keeled Scales. And then 2 months after I graduated, I started working at Third Man.
Sweet. So like that was like your resume to show them, like?
Yeah, I basically was just like, I've done all this stuff, and a lot of it was self-taught, which was really difficult.
What was your favorite artist to work with? Or some of your favorite artists that you worked with?
That's a really good question. Okay, favorite band that I've like worked with. This isn't design related, but I got to interview Ice Age at Aquarium Drunkard. I was a really big fan of them, and my boss at the time was like, "You can interview them if you want." And so I like did a Zoom call with the lead singer Elias. I was freaking out. It was cool. It was just like, it's very rare you get to talk face to face with a band that you've been listening to for years and love. And I got to hear the record before it was put out, like 6 months before it was put out. And so I would just like get in my car and listen to the downloaded album a lot. And I was like, no one can know.
What kind of music is it?
They're a rock band. Yeah, they're like European. They're cool. Mexican Summer put out their album in 2020.
Huh.
Yeah.
And they've been around for a while. You said you've been listening to them for a while.
Yeah. I got really into them in high school. Yeah.
Cool. Ice Age.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of them. I'm looking forward to listening to it.
Yeah, you totally should.
What, so you said fashion earlier. What kind of fashion are you like, do you like to browse or?
That's a really good question. I guess I feel really like inspired by texture overall and just form, which are like big elements in design, but it's always nice when you go to a city and you see a bunch of people just like in unique clothing and like the way the clothes will fit the frame or like the different textures or the different imagery. I feel like I'm really picky about what I like, but the stuff that I'm drawn to I'm like instantly into. I also just like feel very inspired by how fashion can change how someone's... I feel very inspired by the way that fashion can be a form of self-expression. Yeah, like I really like how everyone's frames are different, and so what you wear looks different. Or like there's a designer, Cecile Banson, I might be saying her name wrong. She plays a lot with typically kind of like stereotypically feminine pastel colors, and she creates these like huge puffy dresses that are just very formless, but then she pairs it with like really heavy black boots or really heavy black sandals, and I feel like that's kind of my style. I don't know, I like love the contrast in that. All about contrast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you like the big, well, like for example, like huge puffy coat with skinnier pants, or is that?
I don't know about that combo, but I'm really into like really like I like having clunky shoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love like with her stuff. It's like these big dresses, and they're very like pastel, kind of feminine, and there's a lot of quilt textures to them. But then there's like these clunky military looking boots with it. It's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you like the, what are those boots called? Doc Martens?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I pretty much only wear those.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Today though, I have Converse on.
Really?
Mixing it up. Yeah. They're like all black.
Yeah, I like your whole black attire.
Thank you. It was a good, easy go-to.
It's good. Cool. So you just decided to stay in Nashville? Like...
Yeah, well, in college I was really determined to leave. I thought I was gonna move to like New York or LA, a city like that. And then I came to Nashville to like have some downtime. And the pandemic was really out of control at that point, when I graduated. And so I came back here thinking that I would just be here for a few months, and then I got my dream job, essentially. And it's really hard to part ways with living here. I think the community is really strong, and the idea of moving to a large city like New York and losing all of that is pretty upsetting. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to stay here forever. I don't plan on that. But I do think that the community here is amazing, and I definitely feel like in the circle of things I'm going to do, I'm starting here and I'm going to end here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So what would you say is something you've learned living here?
I think in recent years, a really big focus has been around adapting to change. There's been a pretty big shock from the time I turned 16 until now about how much Nashville has changed. And I think it used to be very upsetting. Still upsetting, but in the past year of me like living here and being able to socialize more, I think it's pretty cool meeting a bunch of people from out of town, and just like, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on here that didn't exist before.
Right. What's your favorite like venue to go to shows at?
I love the Exit Inn. I'd say that's probably my favorite, and the Ryman.
Nice. I'm going to the Ryman tonight.
Who are you seeing?
Ministry and Melvins.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Do you listen to either one of them?
Melvins.
Melvins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. Very heavy show.
It's so cool when they have heavy shows at the Ryman. Like a few years ago, they had Code Orange. And
oh, wow.
I remember all these people were kind of posting videos of like people were standing up. And it's like a relaxing audience experience with this heavy rock band.
Yeah, because you get to sit down.
Yeah. Whenever I've gone to hardcore shows, it's just been so hard to find my place. Because I'm 5'3" and not very strong. So it's like I like moshing, but I don't want to get too in the pit.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw Tool at Bridgestone a couple years ago.
That's cool.
You could sit down then, but it was still so intense.
Was there like a pit in the front?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's sick.
I would have loved to have been on the floor, but
yeah.
That's one of my favorite bands.
That's awesome.
Stadium rock.
Yeah. I saw Radiohead in Atlanta.
Oh, when?
April 1st, 2017.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember why. It was just like, well, all year I was like, April's gonna come, I'm gonna see them.
Did you see him at Phillips Arena?
I think so. Whenever like the big stadium, arena.
Indoor.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think that's Phillips Arena. I've seen Radiohead there too.
Oh, cool. When did you see them?
March 5th, 2012.
I love remembering band date, like the date that you saw a band.
Tool, yeah, I saw him like January 19th, 2016. Or no, January 23rd, 2016.
Amazing.
I for some reason remember dates really well.
Same.
Numbers.
I can tell you any somewhat impactful event, like what date it happened.
Yeah, same here. I can tell you what grade I was in.
Yeah.
What was I into at the time that happened? It's weird.
It's like a nice surprise for people when you're like, I remember all these details, and they're like, that's crazy, but it's cool.
Yeah, I remember conversations in like pre-K and kindergarten.
Yeah.
I remember my first day of kindergarten. I remember meeting this guy named Jacob and Dylan, and I thought they were brothers. They weren't.
I went to first grade, I think, with Jacob Kornfoss.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't remember him as a child. We just figured that out one day. We were like, that's crazy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small world.
Yeah, totally.
It's great. This is the third podcast episode where I've interviewed someone who's from here, who lives here, who grew up here. I'm always interested in what their take is, especially when people come here from out of town.
Yeah. It's like such a special place. I think that it's hard to not, I don't know, I think everyone that's from here feels pretty torn about the direction it's going in, but then there's all these really amazing people moving here, and like a lot of my coworkers are from out of town, and I feel like so fortunate to meet them. Yeah, just I don't know, when I lived in Knoxville, it's like most people are not from Knoxville, and that's the norm. Then moving back here and just being in groups, and like half of them are from out of town, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, tons of culture comes here.
Yeah.
It's changing dramatically.
Totally.
Cool. So what is some advice you give to someone who's going to move here and do art?
I think a big thing is getting immersed in the community. That's something I would really recommend. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, and I feel like there's a lot of people here that are creating their own unique projects. I guess something that I would say about entering the creative community here is just getting connected with people and understanding more about the projects they're working on. So many people here are working on really cool, unique stuff, and there's a lot to learn from that. And also there's a lot of confidence in, you know, if you want to start a podcast, then there's a whole community of people that will support that. Or, you know, you want to start a band, there's a bunch of people that are gonna like be a good friend and like show up to your stuff, and just kind of being a good supportive community member, and then also taking risk and like starting your projects or like getting more immersed in what you're working on this is like a really good place to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. How would you like your art to be remembered?
I really want my design to be innovative. I think the community of graphic designers that work in the music industry isn't that big already. It exists, definitely, but it's not like the most common and active part of the design industry. I guess I would like my designs to be known for being unique and honor the content of the bands that I'm covering or the album art. I'm so sorry. I've been like all over the place with talking this morning.
It's okay. As long as I'm able to like, I'm just trying to ask questions to get it out of you, so.
Yeah, totally.
As long as you're able to like just say what you feel, that's all that I care about. Is there anything else you'd like to add that I might have not asked about yourself?
Not really.
Really?
I mean, can I ask you what people typically say?
Sure. When I ask?
When you ask that question?
Project they're working on, or like how they can support you, or like...
Oh, that's cool. I guess a way to support me is just like most of my portfolio work is on Instagram or on my personal website, which is my Instagram handle. So yeah, if you ever need design work, that's how you can reach me.
Okay, cool. What is something absurd you love or do?
Absurd. Such a good question. Just give me like 30 seconds to think about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sorry, I'm like thinking about this now. Can I ask you what some people say?
Yeah, or
Okay.
I can tell you something
Yeah, tell me.
I like vacuuming.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like, I really like vacuuming.
Okay, I love driving,
Yeah.
but not like, oh, I love like going places. It's like full on, like if I need to relax, I will get in my car and drive around for like an hour.
Nice.
And I do it like at least once a week. Sometimes if it's like really late at night and I drop a friend off or I'm like done going out, I will just like drive around for like 45 minutes in the middle of the night. I love driving when no one's on the road and it's that late. And I just like love driving in general. Yeah, like I've driven to California and back 3 times.
Wow.
One of the trips was 4.5 weeks. I am saving up because eventually I want to go on like a 6-month road trip. I'm just really into... I wouldn't go alone, I don't think, but I love just the privacy of driving around a lot.
Right. Did you drive in that car?
Yeah. 2 of the times.
Wow.
Yeah. It's on its last limb. I'm very sad about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll like cry about it. Like, my car broke down a few months ago and my family was like, you have to get a new one. And I was like, no. Like, I'm so attached to my car. It's taken me to all these amazing places. I don't want to part ways with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it the engine that's about to go, or?
A few months ago, it was like the starter and the battery at the same time, and my AC died for a second, and then my heating was messed up for a second. It was like anything you can think of, I've essentially switched out. But I'm never selling that car. Like, even
what
if
kind of car is it again?
It's a 2006 Honda CR-V.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's just like a part of me.
Right? I
Yeah.
felt it the same way about my car. I've had it since I was 17.
What kind of car do you have?
It's a 2001 Toyota 4Runner.
It's like these early 2000s cars. I'm just like, I don't know. I've had my car since I was 17 as well.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna run into it, you know, I've totaled it before and then fixed it.
I totaled my first car, which was that exact car in black.
Oh, really?
My like Honda.
Really? That's so interesting. My first car is the same car except it was black.
Oh my gosh. How did you total your car?
So my tires were extremely bald and I was driving in the rain and I was driving down a hill and my car lost control and thank God I didn't hit anyone. But then I like was going down a hill and I slid out of control and then I went into the other lane and then went off to the right and my front right tires bashed into a storm drain and then it like spun my car onto the side into the grass and it didn't even faze me really. I was like, I've been off-roading and hit trees and stuff and hit rocks. This is nothing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I can drive out of this. And then
Oh my God.
my front suspension had collapsed.
That's
'cause I hit it
scary.
that hard. But since I have such big tires, it
Yeah.
just felt like,
Oh my God. I'm glad you're okay.
yeah. Yeah, I was super concerned with the vehicle. I was like, they're like, you're going to have to get a new car. And I was like, fuck no.
Yeah. That's awesome you were able... Well, is that the black car? That you
No,
said?
the black car, that one just, it was a 95 4Runner black. And it just, you know, it was super weak. I mean, I grew up on a mountain, so even driving it up the mountain, I would be like pedal to the metal and it would barely hit 40.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I need to get a better car. So got that 4Runner. And then I
Yeah.
did all kinds of stuff to the suspension so that I could, because I lived on a mountain, I used to go off-roading a lot,
That's cool.
shoot guns.
In Chattanooga?
Yeah, I grew up on Lookout Mountain,
Cool, cool.
so close to Rock City.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Okay, cool. So what are some of your favorite activities?
I'm really into cycling. Knoxville's a really bikeable city, and so I had a bike. It was kind of bad. I got a new one, and then the pandemic hit and lockdown started, and so I started biking like 60 miles a week, basically, just like going crazy. I was biking everywhere, and then from like April of 2020 to probably like June of 2021, I did 1,300 miles. So that's like past the distance actually of Nashville to Denver. I was just like obsessed with biking. I still am. I try to bike a lot, but I work a 9 to 5 now, so it's a little different.
Weekends.
Yeah, like last weekend I did 18 miles
Oh wow.
in one sitting, which is,
What's your route, or like where do you go?
I really like to mix it up. So Shelby Bottoms is really good. Percy Warner Park is really good. Edwin Warner. Bellmead Boulevard is really good for biking because the cars like have to stay in one lane, basically. So you can just go up and down the road. And I live over by Belmont, so that area is really bikeable too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Biking. Why not?
Yeah.
I need to get a road bike. I have a mountain bike, but
Road biking in Nashville is kind of difficult, but the greenways are awesome.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should go to Cornelia Air Park.
Yeah, that's like,
That's like one of my favorite places.
I literally am going to do that tomorrow. Like, it's such a good place to bike. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, you can bike there, and then they got an outdoor gym, and you can work out.
Yeah, yeah.
Pull
And
bars
it'll connect all
stuff.
the way to the dam, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. We got the parks.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. What are some favorite bands or like styles of music do you listen to?
I really like a lot of stuff. I'd say like my top people are like, I really like a lot electronic ambient music, like Kaitlyn Aurelia Smith, Julianna Barwick, like a lot of women that are in that branch of music. I love Joanna Newsom. I took harp lessons for a year. I had to put it on pause to focus on graduating and moving, but I like love Joanna Newsom. And then really into Radiohead.
Sick.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Radiohead album?
It's like so tough. I think In Rainbows definitely
yeah,
tops it, but I feel pretty strongly about all of them.
Yeah, and Rainbows is my favorite, and then probably Kid A.
I built a PC a few months ago.
Wow.
It was kind of like my big project for a few months, and the first game I got to play was like the video game that Radiohead put out. It's not like a real game. It's like a gallery walkthrough. But you walk into each room, it's a different song kind of theme. And
wow.
Stanley Dunwood, who does like all of their visuals, basically it's like his illustrations come to life. It's so cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I guess you can only play it on PC?
Yeah, I mean...
You play other stuff on PC?
Yeah, Yes, I'm not that good at... Sorry, let me reword that. I do. I really like more visual storytelling stuff. So right now I'm playing Kentucky Route Zero, which is this very strange, surreal, like, you're basically a truck driver in this town that doesn't make a lot of sense, and time is not linear, and it's just like beautiful. I really like visually heavy stuff. And then I've been trying to play Death Stranding.
What is it?
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding?
It's like this... It's this video game where you're just like walking through these insane landscapes that look like Iceland.
Wow.
But there's like a lot of crazy stuff going on. So it's like, it's a difficult game. I can't really play it that well.
Wow. What, do you find all those games on Steam or something?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
You can find me. My username is Girls Own the Void.
Oh yeah?
My profile picture is Joanna Newsom with a gun.
Nice.
It's like the dumbest thing ever.
I have in my study there, that huge ass computer that's from high school, and like my parents were gonna get rid of it, and it has like a whole bunch of pictures and stuff and whatnot on it, but the reason I keep it, it's slow as shit now, and I need to wipe it, and then but like the only reason I kept it because I was like, I don't use it for utility purposes, but it still has Age of Empires 3 on it. So it works perfectly well for that. That's
awesome.
The only reason I keep it.
Do you play any games?
That sometimes, every now and then, but I like to play, I play the Xbox, and I play Hitman.
Nice.
Do you know that game?
Not familiar.
You're basically an assassin.
That's cool.
And you just sneak into rooms, like
nice.
Take people out, put their clothes on, go as them into the environment, and then find the subject that you have to kill, and like you're stealthy.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That's cool.
You sneak around. And you're in beautiful landscapes, like you're in like multi-million-dollar mansions with like all these celebrities, and like
that's cool.
Or it'll be in Spain or in like Italy, and very visually appealing too. Yeah.
I like games that are very, I guess everyone likes them like this, but when there's just like tons of detail in the worlds. I've been playing, do you know Undertale?
Undertale? No.
It's like this pixelated game that's so goofy and very bare minimum, but some of the characters are named after fonts, which is funny, and like their subtext will be, like someone's name is Papyrus, and their like text is in papyrus. Like there's just kind of a lot of stupid jokes like that, but I just love it. It's like such a good little world in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes you out of your head, kind of.
Yeah. It's like a really good break from, I don't know, I guess consuming media.
Right.
It feels like more reading a book.
You need like a release.
Yeah, totally.
And you need to live in like another...
Right.
This is what's important right now.
Right. It's like you can interact with it,
Yeah.
but maybe not reading a book, maybe more like watching a really good movie.
Yeah, and you have to participate.
Yeah. Which is nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming on here.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you were able to express what you wanted to come across, or at least for me to get it out of you.
Yeah. You're a great host.
Oh,
You asked very good questions.
cool.